Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the Impact / preview of No Surrender. So I'm going to do an Impact review, a short Impact review, and then I'm going to get into the preview of No Surrender. Hopefully I'll get it up by the time No Surrender is over, and then I'll do the No Surrender do the No Surrender review the next day. Now let's get into the Impact review. We have Bully Ray and we have RVD. This is the last of the prelims for the BFG series. Now I wish to say I was shocked to see that RVD did not win. Mainly because RVD has been known to always be prominently featured. Hulk Hogan likes him, so he always puts him in some prominent role. But this time around he did not make it all the way to the BFG series and then enter it as the semifinal and then final. I'm very happy about that. How the match went, it was okay. Not anything unbelievable what they normally do. They both do good matches. They're both ECW guys. They know how to do a good, decent match. Now, what surprised me was the bully cutter. And I believe that this is like a little enticement to, let's put it like this. Randy Orton only had his one last chance. He's done. The next time he messes up in the wellness program, he's gone. So I kind of feel like they're trying to tell him, hey, we're not going to treat you bad. Look what I'm doing. Pay attention to me. Come here. That's how it kind of feels with Bully Ray. He has never been known to do the diamond cutter much. Not saying he hasn't done it in the past. But it feels like he's trying to get Randy Orton to pay attention to TNA and consider leaving WWE. That's just my perception of it. Anyone else has any ideas of what's really going on? You can leave a comment in the comment area. Now, the next match was Hardy and Joe. Now, I wasn't too surprised that Hardy won. I know they're really bringing Hardy up, ready to go back into the title picture after what happened last year. But what happened during the match was kind of unusual. Didn't feel right. Hardy trying to get a submission win isn't something that hasn't been unseen before. Look what happened to AJ Styles with Samoa Joe. He didn't get the win. He did try to do submission. Now with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, they have history together, and AJ Styles was very interesting when he did it. But with Hardy, it was weird. He did basically a crossface in reverse. In other words, having Samoa Joe facing in the same direction as him, going this way, he had him looking at him. And it just didn't seem right. I've never seen it before. If anyone else has, leave a comment about it, because it felt like it was pushed really hard, and he's never been known to be a really submissive type of guy. And it's not like he hasn't done it before, but it just didn't feel right. Next, Brooke Hogan having a segment with Tara and with Gail Kim. And I wish to say I'm very happy about how Brooke Hogan's being presented. I actually thought when she first was brought in, she would do the daddy's little girl angle like Stephanie McMahon did. And having a certain level of power Hulk Hogan has, you would think maybe they may try and do that angle, which I'm glad they didn't. I'm so glad they didn't. Having her the way she is now, being seen periodically, not like every single minute of the day with Karen Jarrett. Sorry, I couldn't help it. But essentially, seeing her like that was cool. It was okay. And I was quite happy with it. So, seeing Gail Kim going against Tara, it was a good match. Tara going over Gail Kim was very good, setting up to No Surrender. And it does lead me to a thought what's going to happen in No Surrender, which I will bring in a preview. And I'm going to leave it at that. Next is Bully Ray with Joseph Parks. Oh, this is good. Having that segment gave both of them a very good elevation. Let me say it like this. Bully Ray coming to Joseph Parks saying, do you know what's going on? I hear you're now hunting down aces and eights. And Joseph Parks saying, I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything, but I'm going to tell Hogan and Sting, and if there's any type of information they'll have, they'll probably pass it on to you. When Bully Ray said, and put his hand on Joseph Park's shoulder, said, be careful. I know these kind of guys. They're not someone to mess with. Watch your back. They gave kind of 3 thoughts in my head. 1, Bully Ray is basically pleading the fifth. Not saying he knows something, but it feels like he does know something. With Joseph Parks, it basically shows that he seems to be just taking a even type of run with this storyline with Aces and Eights. Not saying that he's hinting that he's a part of it, but he is basically showing he's going to do whatever it takes to find them. And the third thing that made me feel is that I feel like this is going to come back again with these two. I have a feeling that there's going to be another showdown with these two, but under different circumstances. It could be because he is part of Aces and Eights, and this is all about getting Bully back for what he did to him. So it would make some sense. Next is the title segment. In other words, the tag team title segment. Very good. We haven't seen stuff like this lately. You have Kaz and Gunner. You have Robbie T and E. And then you have Chavo and Superman. Cash and Gunner got kicked out early, but they look like they may actually have a program with Robbie T and Robbie E, or to continue the program with Chavo and Superman. I'm kind of hoping with Robbie T and Robbie E because both of them are not doing anything. They both are basically boring. But I can say with Robbie E and a little bit of Robbie T and Superman, they were able to talk. Robbie T was very, very short. Rob Taylor barely talked at all. But Robbie E actually showed some promise on the mic. And I'm no fan of Robbie E at all. But at least it shows he can do something. Now with Superman, I wish to say honestly that Superman never talked almost, out of 100% in Mexican America, he spoke maybe 3%, which was a loss. Mexican America flopped because there was just not enough with them. It looked like a good gimmick at first, and it looked like it was beginning to get over, but Anarchia just brought it down because he just isn't good enough. If Superman had given more charisma and more talking into it, it would have worked. Now I'm hoping with Chavo and Superman, you're going to have a balance there. In fact, I'm kind of hoping they'll do what they did with Eddie and Chavo, where they had the lion, cheat, and steal attitude in their promos. I'm not expecting to do it 100% like that. I wouldn't want that because Eddie and Chavo had that exclusively, and it would feel very empty if they had that with Superman. Superman's an entirely different person to Eddie, and I'd rather see Superman do something different. Let it be like that. And that's how I would like it. And finally, when it came to the match with Kaz and Daniels, Robbie T and E were not used for that. It was Chavo and Superman. They lost, but it's fine. Having them continue progressing up from basically just starting is good. Eventually, it looks like they're going to get the straps, but you have to give them competition. Let them go up against all those teams, and if No Surrender goes well for Angle and AJ, I'm not going to say who I'm going to say is going to win, but if it does go like that, they can go on it too. Finally, we have Austin Aries and his segments when it came to the guy from Aces and Eights. I wish to say that my video of Garrett Bischoff, I did say it was a long shot, but I wish people not to totally basically get rid of it, because even though Garrett Bischoff wasn't the one who gave the flapjack to Austin Aries, it does not mean that Eric isn't involved in it, or Garrett. It's still a possibility. We need to watch, like I said, we need to watch and see if Garrett starts showing more appearances, or if Eric is mentioned in any way. We're going to watch and see. But what happened with that segment, eventually they came up with a stipulation for No Surrender where Austin Aries is going to go up against the guy who broke his right arm, or right wrist, which is something good. It'll bring Aces and Eights in more, and it's more prominent for Austin Aries, and that makes me happy. Now, this is now, I'm going to hopefully have the time on it, so if you don't want to see the Impact review, I'm going to put the information down when it finally stops, and you can see the preview. This is a preview for No Surrender. You have, I'm not going to go in, I don't even know what the order is, I'm just going by basic order. You have the Knockouts Championship, Tara and Miss Tessmacher. I expect it to be a good match. I also expect this little surprise. I think Miss Tessmacher is about to turn heel. I have a feeling that there's going to be something that's going to make her start showing hints of being heel. Now, if anyone already notices this, I have a feeling it's going to happen. I don't believe that this is going to just be left that they're going to be good sportsmanship. I believe Tara's going to be the face and Tessmacher is going to be the heel. Or it could be the vice versa. I believe one of them is going to turn heel. But I do believe Miss Tessmacher is going to be the one that's going to turn heel and become very selfish. Because the last match, the one match they had together, where Miss Tessmacher was showing a lot of aggression, gave me a feeling that she is going to turn heel first. If it's not going to be Tara, it's going to be Miss Tessmacher. And I believe it's going to be a good match. The X Division Championship, Ion against Sanjay. They haven't been prominently featured. Sanjay, barely seen much of him. Ion, barely seen much of him. So, hopefully, it'll work out. I'm not too fond of Ion, but I do expect him to retain his championship because I do believe they're going to hold off on that for the main event of next year. When I believe, I can't remember his name right now, I'm going blank. The one that actually got his neck broken, I can't believe I'm forgetting him. But I'll probably leave his name in the description saying I finally found out what his name was, I'm sorry. But basically that is the one that's going to do, I think that's what they're going to do with the X Division. Now, tag team, Angle and AJ and Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. I do not believe that Christopher Daniels and Kaz are going to lose the belts. I do believe that they're going to be challenged by someone else. I don't know who. Somebody. It could be, as weird as it sounds, Sting and someone else. Because I did hear that someone else is coming into TNA eventually, but it does sound like far-fetched. I don't think Sting and Hogan would be it, but you never know. But I do believe they're going to retain. I don't agree with it, but I do believe that's going to happen. Now I'm going to leave it as that. Next is going to be Storm and Bully Ray. And I believe that Storm and Bully Ray is going to be a good match. And I believe that there's a good possibility if Robert Roode does not interfere, Bully Ray will win. I do not believe they're going to have James Storm face Austin Aries. I don't believe it. I do believe Bully Ray is going to be the one that's going to win that. And this is the reason why. Bully Ray has been on such a very good heel storyline turn. What do I mean by that? I mean that in every storyline that he's been in, if it's been in the Abyss, it's been in Immortal, it's been for Anderson, it's been with Austin Aries, it's been with AJ Styles, I believe they did something months ago, and with James Storm. He has done well. And they're going to probably put him up against Austin Aries. I do not know if he's going to win. I'll say what I feel at the end of this review, but I'm going to leave it at that. Second BFG semifinal is going to be Hardy and Joe again. Now, I do believe there's a good possibility that Joe will not win, that they're going to have Hardy win this. I do believe this. I would be happy if Hardy does not win and they have him win and then have him go up against the champion at another time. But I do believe they're pushing for him now. If he doesn't win, it'll be great to see Samoa Joe be one of the last two in the finals. And I'll say how I feel about that later. But I do believe it'll make me really happy about that. Now, in Impact, I didn't say this in the review. You have Joey Ryan and Al Snow. I believe they're going to put this in No Surrender. And I do believe that Al Snow is going to do the job for Joey Ryan. I do believe Joey Ryan is going to get a contract. Now, if he doesn't get the contract, it would make some more sense to drag this out a little bit and he gets another chance later. Because this would have been better if it was with him and Taz, because that's how it started. But as I said in one of my reviews, Taz just can't wrestle anymore because of his severely broken neck. He just can't do it anymore. If he was, he would be more of an active wrestler. So having Al Snow do this, I believe that they're going to have more matches with Al Snow and Joey Ryan, and maybe Taz might be involved in some way, maybe as a ref, you never know. Now, the final match of the BFG series, if it does happen, I believe that's going to be possibly, okay, I'm going to say what I believe it's going to be and what I would like. What I believe is going to be, it's going to be Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy. And out of that match, it's a good possibility Bully Ray will win that. Because if Jeff Hardy wins it, it may sound like it'll be great with Austin Aries. I believe it would be good. But I also believe that they're going to want Bully Ray to go up against Austin Aries again, because they need someone who's really a good heel for him. Having a face in the face is nothing wrong with it. It's been done before, especially in TNA, but I really believe Austin Aries needs Bully Ray. Now, what I want, I would love to see Bully Ray and Samoa Joe at the finals. And if Samoa Joe wins, who I wish will win, he will go up against Austin Aries. And I wouldn't mind it. And this is how I feel for the next pay-per-view. I don't really remember what the next pay-per-view is. I don't even keep track of them because I've been so busy. My prediction, if I see this done, I believe that Bully Ray will win this entire BFG series and go up against Austin Aries. And he would have a good chance of beating Austin Aries. And even if he doesn't beat him, since he's a betweener, he's not a face and a heel all the time. He's in between. You can love Joe, you can hate him, but he's more of a tweener than anything else. And that's what I like about Samoa Joe. Anyone else will probably say he's more of a heel, but that's how I feel about it. That's the one I believe that's going to win the BFG series. Finally, Austin Aries and the guy from Ace of Zane. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what is going to go on with this. I don't know if Ace of Zane is going to rush in during the match. I don't know if this guy is going to beat him. This is very difficult to really say what it could happen. Is it more of a possibility that Austin Aries will not lose this, but there's a good possibility that some type of swerve is going to happen during the match. Either someone from Ace of Zane is going to come in there and cause them problems, or maybe Robert Roode may come in and cause problems and join Ace of Zane. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I believe there's a good possibility if this continues, Robert Roode may come back during No Surrender tonight. And he may join Ace of Zane if he helps Ace of Zane's guy who broke Austin Aries' wrist to help him win the fight. If that does happen, that will bring a new dimension to Austin Aries and basically Robert Roode, even though it's been done already. It would show that now Robert Roode has now buddies to back him up and make it more interesting. Not saying that he's head of Ace of Zane. They could say he is, but doesn't mean he is. And I'm not sure if there's any more matches. You never know if you're going to see maybe the Pope, even though he is out. You could see Crimson come back. I believe they're going to have a segment with ODB and Eric Young. They did it the last couple of times. I believe that's going to be in there. So I believe this show might be a C+ to a B show. This is my guess. If everything goes well for the first sets of matches, a B+, no, not B+, sorry, my mistake. I'll probably have to make the correction in the description. I'll say a B show. If things work out, this could be a very good show. I'd say B. So I hope you like this preview and SmackDown brief review. Subscribe and comment. I'm sorry I couldn't do the SmackDown review. I'm pretty busy right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I will do my best to get the No Surrender review out hopefully by late tomorrow night, hopefully not into Tuesday. I hope to get it done then, and I'm hoping to get Raw also done. Now you have a good night, take care, and enjoy your No Surrender.